novamusic.com.
Hi everybody, I'm John from Nova Musik. We're here today to look at the Mini-fooger line of compact analog effects stomp boxes from Moog Musik. For a great deal on Mini-foogers, be sure to check out the bundles at Nova Musik. We're all familiar with the Moog Minifoogers line of analog effects. These Mini-foogers are a little bit smaller and might more easily find a home on a guitarist pedal board, but are equally useful in a studio situation, equally useful to a keyboard or synth player, and that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to run this Little Phatty Stage II through each of the Mini-foogers so you can hear what they're all about. We're going to run some other synth gear through them as well, and then a little bit later on we'll also look at some interesting applications, control voltage applications, using the CV outs on this Little Phatty and the expression pedal inputs on the Mini-foogers. So let's dig in. We're going to look first at the Mini-fooger boost pedal, which Moog describes as a tone-enhancing twin topology boost. And for some of these demonstrations, just so you can really hear the effect that the pedal's having, we're just going to latch something simple here on the Little Phatty arpeggiator. And then if we bring it in, you can hear here on its transparent setting that it's just sort of a tone-enhancing volume pedal. The tone control can be used to add bite or to remove brightness. And then if we bring in the overdrive circuit, you can hear that it really does engage it a little bit more. And if we bring in the Moog expression pedal, pardon me, not only does it become, with the boost off, sweepable, sort of tone-enhancing volume pedal, very useful, but using the pedal will actually allow you to take the gain level beyond the panel setting. So you can see here we've got the panel knob maxed all the way up, and then if we bring in the expression pedal, it goes even higher. And again, an obvious use is to add brightness, but if you bring the tone level down here too, for other purposes, you can actually remove brightness from the signal. So just once again, with everything sort of maxed out on bite here, there's the original sound, and there it is through the pedal. Back to the more transparent setting, it just becomes a tone-enhancing volume pedal. So that's the Mini-fooger boost. Up next is the Mini-fooger drive pedal. It's fairly unique. It has classic OTA, and then a big draw for this one we think is going to be the inclusion of the Moog ladder filter. So again, if we sort of latch something here and then bring it in, you can... That's without the drive switch engaged. You can hear sweeping the filter. If we bring this in, then of course with the ladder filter in there and the expression pedal input, if we bring that in and engage the peak switch, then all harmonic content gets pushed through the filter setting. So depending on kind of the sound you put through it and where you set some of these, you can sort of find a sweet spot with the expression pedal where you can sort of sweep through a very resi, filtered sound. So again, there it is, disengaged. And that's the Mini-fooger drive. Next in the lineup is the Mini-fooger Trem, or tremolo, obviously. We have a little bit of a different sound here going on the Little Phatty, just to hear it a little bit better. If we start to bring it in at a very slow speed, you can hear there's a pretty wide range to it if you get the depth up here all the way. And if we bring this up, get sort of a more traditional tremolo sound going. The shape knob, which is at the center position right now, it's center. It's sort of a nice even triangle. If you bring it up, you get more of a sawtooth to get more of a percussive tremolo sound. And then if we sweep it back, you get sort of a reverse trem going. So there's a lot of range here and a tone control, which just sort of brightens it up at the top end a little bit. And the speed goes way up. This too, like all the Mini-foogers, features an expression pedal input. This one simply sweeps the speed, not the depth, the speed. For hands-free swells on your Trem. And that's the Mini-fooger Trem. The three Mini-foogers that we've already covered, the Boost, the Drive, and the Trem, are all new effects for Moog without clear antecedents in the Moog line. These last two, however, are definitely direct descendants of two very popular Moog. First up is the Mini-fooger Ring, which obviously is the little brother of the MF 102 ring modulator, widely known as the best ring modulator and best-selling ring modulator that's ever been produced. This more compact and more affordable version gives you some basic controls. If we bring it in here on this sort of lead sound we're playing, this is with the ring mod fairly closely tuned to the source, but you can sweep it up or down pretty far. There's a mix control to go either all the way wet or all the way dry, and a tone control which doesn't affect your source signal, only affects the ring mod sound. So if we have this all the way dry, you can hear that the tone does nothing. So that's really only going on this sound. And with the wide range, here if we again sort of gauge something, you can how you tune and voice it with what you're playing. You can have something nice and harmonic, or take it into sort of atonal, detuned robot mayhem, I suppose. This too, like all of them, has an expression pedal input to sweep the frequency. So, not much else to say there. That is the Mini-fooger ring. Last but certainly not least is the MF delay, which much like the MF ring has a big brother in the Moog Minifooger line, in this case the 104 analog delay. Much like its big brother, this one is based around Bucket Brigade delay chips, offers 650 milliseconds of delay. We're going to run this sort of plucky sound through it here, just so we can a little bit more clearly hear the effect. At very short times, with a little more feedback, you can get that sort of metallic, reverby kind of sound going. And then if we open this up all the way, you can hear the full 650 milliseconds available from the front panel. There's a drive control, in case you need to boost your source or add some color to it. A mix control, which sweeps from all the way dry to just delays. Something else worth noting here is that if we attach an expression pedal, I don't know if it's documented quite how far we can go, but we can actually, if you listen, this is the 650 milliseconds available by sweeping the front panel knob. If we attach an expression pedal and then put that all the way up, we can actually get slightly more time out of it. Push it beyond, much like we saw in the earlier pedal, an expression pedal can actually take it beyond the range offered by the front panel. Also worth mentioning on the Mini-fooger delay is that whereas the other four Mini-foogers have a single function available to their expression pedal inputs, on the Mini-fooger delay there is a small, easily accessible internal switch that lets you change between sweeping the delay time over to sweeping the feedback, so that you can attach an expression pedal and do hands-free feedback swells on the delay instead of controlling the time. So we've heard what the Mini-foogers can do with our Little Phatty synth as a source. Now let's listen to what they can do with this JoMoX XBASE 999 drum machine. I'm going to run it specifically through the drive, the ring modulator, and the delay. Now let's take a look at how a polyphonic synth sounds through the Mini-fooger Trem. This would be great, obviously, on any organ or pad type sound. We have a cool pad patch called up right now here on the Studiologic Sledge. The Trem is engaged, but we have the depth all the way down. So we'll just sort of start to bring it in here. This is with the shape set at the middle triangle position. If we put that up into the sawtooth, you can hear again that we get a little bit more of that percussive sound. We can also take it down into the negative. To get that sort of reverse trem sound. Something else we could do with this virtual analog synth is try running it through the drive pedal to warm it up, even overdrive it, give it a little bit of a bite to it. So we have a patch here that very nice, but a little thin. And then if we bring in the drive, we can really something we alluded to earlier in our little introduction was that with each of these Minifoogers having an expression pedal in that can also be driven by control voltages. So besides hooking up the Moog expression pedal, there are various ways to interface the Minifoogers with your CV capable gear. Here's one example where I'm going to, if I run the trem on the sound we were using before, you can hear that without any adjustment, you get the same speed of trem at every note value. If I attach the expression pedal input to the pitch CV out on this Little Phatty, then you will hear that as we go up in pitch, the tremolo speed gets faster. So we can go way down, nice slow one here, all the way up to and that again is by attaching the pitch CV out to the expression pedal in on the trem. Similarly, if we run the same pitch CV out from the Little Phatty to the expression pedal in on the ring modulator, we can have the ring modulator frequency track with what we're playing on the keyboard. So this is without the CV attached, and the frequency just sort of tunes center here. If we put it all the way on effect, you can hear this is how the ring mod frequency behaves without the CV pitch tracking. And then if we attach it, you can hear it tracking a little more closely. If we bring the source back in, sort of tune this a little bit differently. You can hear it tracking it all and tracking more closely than it does without the CV control. Here's another idea. We have now switched the CV out from the Little Phatty from the CV pitch tracking to the Modbus control voltage output so that the Little Phatty's LFO carrier will come out to the expression pedal in on the ring modulator. Right now we have it all the way wet so that you can hear just the ring mod sound. And as we bring in the LFO, we've got the modulation amount set pretty high here. So you can hear the CV running the ring mod frequency. If we bring in the Little Phatty sound, you can hear that LFO operating on both at the same time. So again, that's by running the Modbus out from the Little Phatty CV outs to the expression pedal in on the Mini-fooger ring. Looking now at the Mini-fooger delay, the internal switch that we mentioned is set right now so that the expression pedal input sweeps the time. And what this allows us to do by attaching that expression pedal input to the mod bus out on the Little Phatty is sort of add in the same LFO effect that can be found on the Big Brother MF 104 analog delay. We have the delay set all the way to wet right now so that you can hear as we bring in the LFO from the Little Phatty. You can hear it affecting the delay time, which gives you that sort of warbly effect. Similarly, if you flip the internal switch, you could use this to affect or sweep the feedback time. There are many complex and advanced applications that one could come up with, that many of you probably will come up with for running the Mini-foogers with control voltages. For today, we really just wanted to answer the question that yes, the expression pedal inputs can be run over CV, and show just a few basic examples. So that's the Mini-fooger line, the new line of compact analog effects stomp boxes from Moog Music. Once again, be sure to check out our cool bundles for some great deals on the Mini-foogers with some accessories you may want or need to go with them. Once again, I'm John from Nova Music. Thank you for watching.